Hey guys, right, today I want to install a third brake light or high level brake light along the top of the window. It's relatively straightforward and simple to wire up, but it's also pretty simple to get it wrong. Let me show you what a lot of people do wrong. Most people, when they're wiring up their high level brake light, either up there or wherever it is in your particular car, they'll basically take a feed from the brake light, usually that side, maybe that side, whatever. They usually take a live feed for that and hook it up to the brake light with a local earth or ground. However, if you're in North America, possibly even South America, you will know that when you apply your brake and hit a turn signal, this is what happens. And that is because our brake lights and flasher lights do the same thing. You won't have this problem in Europe where you've got amber indicators at the front and the back. But that's how it works up here in Canada at least. So the only way to do this properly without your brake light flashing every time you turn a corner, and it would only be flashing like on the left or the right depending on where you would wire it up. So to prevent that from happening, you need to run a dedicated brake light wire all the way to the brake light switch, which is what I'm going to do. As I say, it's fairly simple. One hot feed coming from the brake light switch to the lamp, and then it can be grounded locally. So I'll show you how I'm going to do it in my car. All I need to do is locate the hot feed coming from the brake light switch, that's my brake light switch there. And this would be the hot feed coming. That wire there is coming from the fuse box. And this one, now this has got a tee off going to my flasher system. Okay, so I don't want to tee into that because then that would defeat the purpose. So I need to take a feed from there and then run that down there. I'll put it inside that conduit all the way through the back, up to the back window and into the third brake light, which I'll show you now. I didn't want anything too bulky and obvious at the back of the car, so I've gone for some LED strips. My friend Jamie in Scotland sent these to me. I did have 5 of them, but I seem to have lost one. Anyway, now you'll notice that these are, they've got tape on the back side, which would imply that you would have to stick it onto the back of the window. I don't want it on the outside. So the only way to get it to stick on the inside of the window is with some double-sided clear tape. Right? Now, I was just talking to my wife there and she reckons that one of these isn't really bright enough. So I'm going to double them up, which is fine because that tape is actually quite wide. You'll see that 2 strips will fit quite nicely on that tape. So wiring wise, pretty simple to be honest. You have a red and a black wire coming out. So I'll hook the 2 reds together, the 2 blacks together. The red will be the hot feed coming from the brake light switch, and the black will just go to a local ground. The whole body and the chassis, everything in this car is grounded to the battery at some point, so that'll work just fine. So stage 1, I need to work out the middle of the back window and put a bit of this tape along the top. And then stick these, but I'll wire these up first. And by wire them up, I mean I'll put plugs on them. It's always a good idea to test bulbs and LED strips before you fit them all. So I'll do that now. Red to the positive, very echoey in here. Goodness. Right, so they're both working. Almost Christmas-like. So now I can go and put the other plug on the earth side. I'm going to use a female plug for that side. I always like to do the opposite colours, the opposite sizes. So that's a male plug going, which means it needs a female coming, which means that a hot wire if it's got a female plug in the end, it's never going to touch anything and short out. Right, let me stick these in the back window. Not sure if I like that. Glaringly obvious to me at the moment, so we'll leave it for a bit. Anyway, I'll wire it up. Either way, I want a third brake light. I suppose when you're not zoomed in on it, it's not as obvious. These wires will be tucked out of the way. My wiring is done. So I said before, I'm taking a feed. Well, that doesn't help. Hold on. That's better. So I'm taking a feed from the hot wire coming after the brake light switch, okay? These two actually go, they're coming from the fuse box and one's teed off to this fog light switch just for power. Right, so I've got a feed coming after. That wire there disappears into that loom between the seats all the way through that loom there. Takes a sharp right, goes along there. Some duct tape holding it in place for now. As you can see, this rear section isn't exactly complete, so this is kind of temporary, just to keep it out of the way and functional. And my earth is down here. I've left lots of spare wire in case I want to relocate that, but no, that's a good earth because it uses the same bolts to power the back lights that are attached to that fender. So, I guess we need to give it a shot. Right, let's do a big brake light test. Side lights. Brake lights. Left indicator. Left indicator with brake light. Right indicator. Right indicator with brake light. So hopefully now you understand why it's important to run a direct feed from the brake light switch to your third brake light, because that would have just been flashing every time you turned left or right, depending on which bulb you wired it to. So this way I know I'm always going to have my third brake light, no matter if the lights are on, off, indicating left or right. They're going to work. Okay folks, thanks for tuning in. Quick video today. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be some rubber sealant around all my moving metal parts. So make sure you tune in for that. And obviously we'll need to go for another drive to see if it worked. Okay, take care everyone. See you in the next one. Thanks for subscribing. And if you've not, do it now. Bye.